Welcome back, Beasley Bassin. We got an unboxing for you guys tonight, and I appreciate you guys that have been watching the videos, commenting and liking and giving me some good feedback. I really appreciate it. I'm having fun. I've been knocking these videos out. I've knocked quite a few out in the past 2 months. I probably will slow down here in the near future, but I don't know really when that's going to be. I'm kind of having fun doing this for you guys. With that said, I got the big jacket on tonight because most of you guys around the country know it's cold. Even here in Texas, it's cold. It's only going to get colder this week, which is why I decided to weather the storm and get out here before this front moves in and get this video knocked out. Also, I'm going to show you guys a quick clip. I already filmed this video last night and it wasn't near as cold. I got to the editing part and I realized that it just didn't work. And the reason that is because I had some camera malfunction, so I was trying to shoot these unboxings with my GoPro. The GoPro is a great camera out there on the water, but as far as filming these unboxings and getting some good quality shots of these lures and these baits that I show you, the lighting, it's just not there and the quality wasn't there. So I'm wiping everything that I filmed last night and we're gonna start all over. Now the box is already open, so we can't really call it an unboxing, but we're gonna call it an unboxing anyway. I went ahead and I set a few things up and I wasn't gonna go digging through the trash to find the packages. I know a lot of guys got tackle walls and I got a tackle room at my dad's place. We have all of our rods and all of our stuff put up, but everything is kept in our Plano boxes. We take them out of the boat every time we put the boat back up. I don't keep the packages and have them decorate my wall and stuff. Most of the stuff we use all the time when we're out there on the lake. So all the lures that I have, for the most part, are pretty much always on the boat with me. And I already have them set up in the Plano boxes, so that's how we're gonna do this unboxing. So let's get into this re-unboxing. I guess maybe that fits a little bit better, a re-unboxing. If you guys haven't already done so, you like what we're doing here on Beasley Bassin, go ahead and subscribe, drop me a like, drop me a comment. Let me know what you wanna see on this channel or what you think I'm doing right or wrong. All right, guys? And those of you that have already been commenting and liking, thank you. I appreciate it for riding along and showing me your support. It's gonna keep driving me to do this and it's gonna keep me making videos and at least posting them on YouTube. So here we go. This was the box. As you can see, 6 cents, right? We got a few other things in here that I'm gonna jump into. I made a quick run to Academy the other day to pick up a few things, and I was surprised that they have a few things that I have been wanting to try and pick up, but I can't find them online. They've been out of stock for a while. So those of you that are looking online and shopping online for a few things and can't find them, you'll be surprised what your local Academy or Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops or wherever you find your lures that actually have in stock versus online right now, because everything that's going on in the world, the online shopping has just picked up and everything's pretty much sold out online. Even in the fishing industry, you guys know last spring, you really couldn't find anything. I kind of jumped ahead of the game this pre-spawn, pre-spring fishing, and I picked up most of the things that I think I'm gonna need through spring into summertime. First bait that I wanna show you guys out of this box here is some plastics from the Six. This is the Stroker Crawl from 6 cents. All right, this is a crawl style bait. Love these crawl style baits because I can use them as a trailer. I can Texas rig them, I can Carolina rig them, I can do a lot of things. And actually this color, guys, man, I wish I would have had it the last time I was down on Falcon. However, it dropped as soon as I got back. I'm talking the week that I got back from fishing Falcon, they dropped this color. And this is the Mexican Spice. And this is the Stroker Crawl from 6 cents. Check that out there. It's got that watermelon seed, that green color. It's got some orange flake on it. Really sweet about this is the belly side of it. See that? That chartreuse right there? Man, that's gonna do really well down in that murkier water that I'm fishing here in the near future. So the Mexican Spice Stroker Crawl, 1 pack was not enough. I have a feeling they're gonna be biting it, so I had to pick up 2 packs. We got a 2nd pack of the Stroker Crawl and the Mexican Spice. The next one up is the Prawn 4.2 from 6 cents, also in the Mexican Spice. I have a plan for the prawn as well. I plan on punching this through the grass there on Choke Canyon, as well as flipping the hardwoods down on Falcon. Nice. Let's go ahead and rip these appendages apart so we get that full action there. Same color scheme. It's got that watermelon seed, orange flake, and it's got that same chartreuse color there on the bottom. The last time I was down on Falcon, I caught about a 6-7, I think it was a 6 pound, 7 ounce bass on the ridge worm in this color. The ridge worm is a longer curly tail worm from the 6, and I saw this color on their website in the hog walla. So this is the hog walla, and I picked it up in a plum color. Look at that thing. If that doesn't say big bass, I'm not really sure what does. But look at that. Again, the chartreuse, the plum plastics, they do really well. And this is the hog walla in the plum. A couple different ways I'm going to rig it. I'll be Texas rigging it, and also I think I'm going to give this a shot on the Carolina rig. Let's keep it going. I'm not really sure what's in here now, but all right. Let's stick with the same thing, plum. All right. Last spring, before we went to Falcon, I searched everywhere for these and I couldn't find them. Since then, I have picked up a few bags, but I was at Academy and I saw they had some in stock, so I went ahead and picked up an extra bag just in case. You can never have enough. And this is the Zoom Old Monster in the plum. Zoom. I love their plastics. They're cheap, they get the job done, and I fished with them for as long as I can remember, tying these things on. And this is the Plum Old Monster. Look at this. I know that hog walla, I know I said it screams big bass, but I have seen and heard a lot of big bass down on Falcon being caught on this big Zoom Plum Old Monster. It's a 10-inch worm. Woo! Yeah. So I already have a few packs. I picked up an extra because, again, can never have enough, right? All right, let's see what else we got in here. So I picked up a couple more, the Kitech Swing Impact fat swim baits for my trailers on my swim jigs. I've been doing really well. You guys have seen me out there in the water lately with those swim jigs. And this is the Sexy Shad. I can't remember the color that I was throwing. It was a variation, had a little bit more chartreuse on it, and it was the 3.3. This is the 3.8 Kitech swim bait. And this is my go-to trailer for the Divine swim jig from 6 that I throw. I love the action on it. If I had to say one negative thing, it's that the plastic on these Kitechs, they're pretty soft. So a couple fishes and you're having to replace it, which is why I picked up an extra pack of them, just to have an extra pack with me, because I have a feeling I'll be going through a few of these trailers. I can't really complain too much about it because I think the way that they designed the plastic, I know it's soft, but I think it really gives it the action that the fish like. Again, I picked up another pack. This is the Tennessee Shad. So I picked up a few swim jigs, you're going to see in a little bit, that I don't have. A few bluegill imitation swim jigs. Most of the swim jigs that I have are shad imitation. They're a whiter color, a little bit of green, a little bit of chartreuse, a little bit of blue. And so this bluegill imitation, it's more of a green color. It's got a little bit of orange chartreuse on it. So I think this Tennessee Shad color is going to pair up really nice with those swim jigs. It's a little bit darker gray. Kind of a gray color there. Almost to a light silver there on the belly. And this is the 3.8 inch as well. And I think it'll pair up well with those bluegill swim jigs that I got. So we'll see how it goes. All this stuff might be put away by the time we get out there and finally figure out what the fish are doing. We might just completely change our game plan, which sometimes that's what it is. You guys that are fishing and you go into a situation and you're fishing a lake or a body of water you've never fished or haven't fished in a while, you think you've got it figured out, you've done the research, you've looked at Google Earth, you've looked at the maps, you've read the fishing reports, you've done all your homework, and you get to the lake and you got a game plan. If it's not working, it's not working. It's okay to give it up, switch it up, go to some things you know, try a few different things, and you'll be surprised. That little change, those little changes that you make might end up being the difference between catching some fish and not catching some fish. You know, if you're going a day or two and you ain't catching nothing on the game plan that you had, always have a plan B, guys. Always have a plan B. Let's see what else we got. So, I had to pick up some more braid. This time I went with the Power Pro, the 50 pound. I went with the 50 pound from Power Pro. The 30 pound's been really well. It's done really well here in my local lake. I've been throwing it on my swim jig, my flipping jig, and my Texas rig. the jig and the Texas rig and the swim jig, I believe. Yeah, I have all three of them rigged up with a fluorocarbon leader. I think for my punching rig, I'm gonna leave it straight braid. I'm not really sure yet. I might roll with the fluoro leader as well. Haven't really decided. We'll see how we get it rigged up and what I'm thinking there. But I know that going down to those lakes, we're gonna be fishing a lot more cover than I'm accustomed to, which is why I stepped it up to the 50-pound. We're gonna be fishing the vegetation. We're gonna be punching some grass, and we're gonna be flipping some pretty good hardwoods down on Falcon. So 50-pound Power Pro, I think it should work. They had the 65, but I think the 50 is going to kind of be that medium between the 30 and the 65 that should do the job. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully I don't break off. And if I do, I'll share it with you guys. And if I don't and we catch a monster, you'll see it as well. Let's see what else we got. So these next two baits that I picked up, I've heard a lot about the company, and that company is Grande Bass. It's another local Texas company that makes lures here in Texas. This is the 6.5 Airtail Wiggler. So let's take it out of here and give you guys a close look at it here. Almost like a Cinco style stick bait here. I kind of have a plan to rig it up on a shaky head or maybe even a wacky rig. And the cool thing about these Airtail Wigglers, let me give you guys a close look up there. This is the watermelon red and the 6.5 Airtail Wiggler. And the Airtail Wiggler is the tail there. It's got an air pocket in there. And I believe it's supposed to give it some sort of different action in the water. So I think that shaky head might work out best for that Airtail Wiggler. A wacky rig might work as well. We'll probably try that around some hardwoods. The next one is also a 6.5-inch Airtail Wiggler from Grande Bass. And this is the Chartreuse Pepper. I told y'all chartreuse was going to be the theme here on the color tonight. Going down south, they like the chartreuse. Same stick style bait. You guys get a close look at there, that chartreuse pepper. Same Airtail Wiggler. Got that air pocket in the tail. And hopefully we get a fish on that as well. My goal is to catch a fish on every single one of these baits. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that'd be pretty sweet. Alright, so that's all I got in the box. I know I pulled some things out of there that weren't from 6 Cents, but that's kind of what I had them packaged in after the filming that I did last night, which we weren't able to use. So another few things that I picked up is, with all these lures that I'm buying, I'm going to need a way to store them. That, coupled with the old Plano boxes that we have, some of them are 10, 15 years old. The latches are kind of coming off. They're falling apart, and we're growing. We're getting more lures and more baits. We're trying a few different techniques, so I needed some more good Plano boxes. So I picked up a couple more of these Plano 3700s at Academy. I think they had them on clearance or on sale for like $4 a piece. So I picked up 4 of them, and yeah, the Plano 3700. They're not the most expensive. They're more on the cheaper side. They've been around forever. You guys probably have Plano everything. Plano's been in the fishing game for years, and for the price, you can't really beat them. I know there's a lot more expensive. I know they have the Plano Edge series now, but I think these will do the job. Again, we don't leave our tackle on the boat. We take it out. We put it in the house. We put everything away when we're done fishing. So we try to take care of our stuff as much as possible. So 1, 2, 3. And now we get to the rest of the 6 Cents stuff that I had opened out of that box last night that I've already put away in the Plano box to get ready to take over to the boat. So it's already loaded up with all 6 Cents gear. Look at that. Already rigged up, ready to go. So let's start here at the top. We'll go from the top across down to the bottom, and I'll talk to you guys about all these lures that I picked up. The first one that I got here is the C10 in the Blue Truce from 6 Cents. Not only did I pick up one, but I picked up 2. Gotta have an extra one just in case something happens like that. So this is the Blue Truce from the 6. Look at that. Look at that color. That is nice. So what I want you guys to see there is the top there is kind of that lighter blue color on the back, and it's got that chartreuse side, and it's got the white belly. Yeah, it's got a little orange on the chin, and the C10 dives about 8 to 12 foot. which is a perfect range. So that's kind of where I've been hearing they've been catching them at recently, in that 4 to 12 foot range right now. I'm not really sure what this cold weather is going to do to them, but I plan on finding out, and I plan on throwing this, and that's the blue truce and the C10. Not only did I pick up 2 C10 and blue truces, I went ahead and got something that dives a little bit deeper. This is going to dive in that 12 to 18 foot range. This is the C15. Same color scheme, same blue truce, but it's going to dive down a little bit deeper, and it's got a bigger profile. Just to give you guys a little comparison, I'll show it to you next to the C10. To show you, it's a little bit bigger. Not by much, but a little bit. Definitely has a bigger bill on there, and that's what's going to help it get down there a little bit deeper than that C10. I got another C10 here, and this is the Chartreuse Pro Blue. So this one, it's got that same chartreuse color on there. It kind of goes a little bit further onto the belly before it turns white. Pink there on the chin, slimmer white belly, and on the top it's got more of a midnight blue color. And that's the Chartreuse Pro Blue. And the C10 that I've been wanting to try out is the Chartreuse Sungill. And this one is a little bit fainter of a chartreuse, a little bit of lavender on the top. See that? A little bit faint chartreuse color, not so deep, and then a little bit of lavender there on the back. And it's got that same white belly. And it's got that orange spot there on both sides. You see that? That's a wicked looking color there. It almost reminds me of the Jank juice. I have a Jank juice. It's got more of a, I don't know how to explain it, a little bit more of a purplish color, not a lavender color. And I do have a Jank juice that I threw on last time, and I've been hearing the Jank juice has been doing really well as well. Baxter the Bait Man, shouts out to you. He collabed with the 6 and made that Jank juice. I'll show you guys pretty soon that Jank juice color. It's pretty sick. But yeah, that's the Chartreuse Sungill and the C10. Well, this next one was on their clearance rack, so I was able to get it at a pretty good price. And I've seen it on their website a few times. I just hadn't picked it up. And the main reason I wanted to pick it up, and I've been thinking about picking it up, is the eyes on this thing. You see those eyes there? Those red eyes? And they're reflective on the scales. You see that? Man, when the sun hits that, I'm telling you, it really does something when that sun hits it. And it's got kind of a little bit of a green, light green. It's got kind of a turquoise back. See that? And that's the Sobs juice. Those red eyes look pretty mean, man. So, and actually it's got a faint, you can see right under the turquoise, it's a little bit of chartreuse. So yeah, we still got the chartreuse theme going. We still got it going. We still got chartreuse. So the last one I'm going to show you guys in the crankbaits is another C10. And this is the Shad Sense. This is more similar to the Sexy Shad Color KVD 2.5 that I caught that 7-pound bass on. It's got some lavender on the back. It's got a whitish, almost translucent body. I can see the knocker in there with a little bit of bluish lavender tint and the chartreuse stripe there along the body. Check that out. This is more of a universal color. You're going to see this color scheme in a lot of different crankbaits. It does really well, and it has for years. Got a little chartreuse on the chin there. But yeah, another C10. We're ready to go. We got the cranks. We're ready to go. Now all we need to do is get out there on the water and catch some fish on them. All right, what else do we got in this 6-inch box? I know what I'm dying to show you guys, but I'm going to make you wait till the end to show you this. But I picked up a few more shad imitation swim jigs. And this is the Pro Green 3/8 ounce swim jig. This is one of the swim jigs that I've been catching fish on here locally lately. You can never have enough of these. I always got them ready to go on the boat. I'm telling you, I've never fished another swim jig, and I don't know that I ever will, because I've seen them in stores and everything I see just doesn't look as good as the swim jigs that 6-inch are putting out. And I know I've talked to you guys about it before, but that right there, that screw lock system on the bottom of the hook, really keeps your trailers on there. It really does. You don't even need to put a dab of super glue. It holds it on there pretty good. So that's the Pro Green and the 3/8 ounce swim jig. I also got a sexy shad, and the sexy shad's got a little bit of chartreuse on there, and this is a 1/2 ounce, so it's got a little bit heavier head on there, a little bit bigger. That's where the sexy shad Kitek and the sexy shad Divine Swim Jig are gonna go nice together. And this is the Bluegill Fire Divine Swim Jig, the Bluegill Fire Divine Swim Jig. Look at all those colors in there. A lot of red and orange flake. And this is another 3/8 ounce. And I'm gonna take a closer look here. It's got a lot of orange flake. It's got some lavender on the skirt there on the bottom. Bluegill Fire, I believe. I don't have the packages anymore, so I'm kind of going off of memory, but I believe that's the name of that one. Next one is a similar. I believe this is the Candy Bluegill or the Bluegill Candy Divine Swim Jig. The Bluegill Candy or the Candy Bluegill. I can't remember which way it goes, but I know it's the Candy Bluegill. Look at that. Again, another 3/8 ounce. And this one's got a lot more colors in it. It's got these orange to chartreuse on the belly, on the bottom here, on the skirt, on the bottom side. See that? Yeah, another Divine Swim Jig. I'm loaded on swim jigs. I'm gonna have to get my own swim jig box pretty soon. But they've been working. Enough about that, let's get into it. I got it. I got the Vega Frog, and I didn't just get one, not two, but 3 Vega Frogs. The first one we're gonna take a look at is the Shad Spawn Vega Frog. Look at this thing, guys. Man, that is pretty cool. And these frogs are hollow body, kind of a popper style frog. Look at that. It's got this white skirts here, almost imitating the frog legs. I'm sure they're the same black nickel hooks that 6th Sense is accustomed to using. I've heard that these hollow body frogs, one of the problems that a lot of these frogs have is they just take on a lot of water and you're constantly having to drain them out. I've heard that these 6th Sense Vega Frogs don't have that issue. So this is the Shad Spawn Vega Frog. Chartreuse to a midnight blue down to a white. Got some turquoise on the side and a white belly. The next one is the Baby Bluegill color. This one's got a dark gray back, some green and chartreuse skirts there for the feet, the legs. Same hooks. It's got some gold pattern there on the side with some more midnight blue streaking. It's got a red mouth, orange chin, and a white belly. Look at that. There's the back, the side, the belly, and that red mouth there. I'm pretty stoked about trying to throw these Vega Frogs. I've been hearing tons about them, so to be able to get my hands on them, a lot of people out there haven't been able to get their hands on them. So the fact that I was able to, and I'm going to be fishing them soon, it's pretty neat. The last one is another Vega Frog, and this is the Baby Bullfrog. This color, when I saw it drop online, I knew this is one of the colors that I had to have. It just looks pretty realistic to me, and I feel like they got it right with this scheme. I mean, they get everything right with their paint schemes, but I really feel like they hit this one pretty good, that Baby Bullfrog. It's got that dark green on the back, kind of to a lighter green to a white. It's got that random bullfrog paint scheme around the side. It's got brown and green skirts here for the legs. But yeah, this one is going to be the very first frog that I'll have tied on and I'll be trying to catch fish on. Check it out, guys. The side there. See those patterns there? I mean, those patterns go all around the body. The back, all the way to the white belly there. And this one as well has that red mouth. Man, so on these frogs, guys, I'm going to need some help. I have a pretty good idea of how I'm going to try to fish him. I'm going to be doing a lot of experimenting on my first few casts to kind of really get a rhythm. I know it's got the popper style mouth, so you can fish it like a popper. You can fish it like a walking style bait and kind of twitching your tip of your rod there and just kind of walking it through. And you can slow reel it and you can rip it through that vegetation, I believe. I'm not really sure. I've never fished a frog. So those of you that have and like fishing them, have caught fish with them, fish them regularly, or know how to fish them, drop me a comment down below. Let me know how you're fishing these frogs, how you think I should fish them, and what you find works for you, the different techniques that you found in fishing these frogs. It doesn't even have to be the Vega frog. Any of the frogs that you have, that you've caught fish on or that you fish with, let me know in the comment section, and I'm going to take that in consideration when I go down there, and I'm going to try some of these tips that you guys are giving me out. So that pretty much wraps it up. I got one more surprise for you guys. I already had to take it out because when it came in, the packaging was broken, and I was really concerned and I was really worried about it, but it was all right. It made it through the mail. A lot of nightmare stories about things getting broken through the mail right now, and I was pretty worried, but it made it. So hang on, I'll be right back. Got a surprise. You guys ready? Check it out. Woo! Yep, I did it. I picked up another kaden rod from Dobyns. Still has a price tag on it. Slightly used. It is a split grip. I found a guy who reached out and had one that was slightly used. Look at that, retail price there. That's what they're selling for. These kaden rods are now in stock on Dobyns' website. This one was one of the prototypes that came out last year before the new ones have been released, and this is number 46. So this rod, the main reason I picked it up is because I don't have a dedicated crankbait rod. I think this is gonna fill an empty spot in my rod lineup for that medium to medium deep diver. I'm not really thinking deep diving, but I'm thinking in that anything from 2 foot all the way down to about 12, 15 foot, this rod should handle. It's designed for crankbaiting. This is the Dobyns Kaden 735 CB, and it is good for crankbaits, rattle traps, and topwaters. Not really sure if you guys can see that, but trust me, that's what it says. The crankbait rods, they have more of a parabolic bend to them, and they're going to bend deeper down into the backbone of the rod, and that's going to help you secure better hookup ratios with your crankbaits and your treble hooks. Those fish, sometimes it takes a minute. If you have that fast tip, when you set that hook, it's going to rip that crankbait right out of their mouth. You're going to have more backbone, and you're still going to be able to keep that fish pinned from jumping out of the water on you. I've never owned a dedicated crankbait rod, so I'm anxious to get out there and see how this thing does compared to throwing a crankbait on my typical medium, heavy, fast action rods. Another kaden series, you guys know I love that red and black. It's going to go well with my lineup. The Dobyns kaden rods, I already told you guys. I think I already said it, but again, if you guys are interested in any of the Dobyns kaden series rods, I got word today that they are in stock. I got them all. So you guys go check out Dobyns' websites, get on some kadens. I promise you, I'm going to do a rod review on all 3 of the kaden rods that I have, along with the Shimano X Pride that I picked up recently. And let me tell you, I've been missing out on this rod game because I've fished with these a couple of times already, and I can already tell a huge difference in the sensitivity, the rod strength, how light, how sensitive, and how balanced these more expensive rods are. It makes a big difference. Huge. Well, that does it for the redo unboxing. Hope you guys like what you saw, like those lures. I tried to move a little bit quicker tonight. I had a few to get through, and I didn't want this video to be too long and take up too much of your time. But I also wanted to give you guys an up-close look at these lures that we got and see the color schemes. Chartreuse was the theme of this unboxing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And again, if you haven't done so, guys, subscribe, drop me a like, drop me a comment. Let me know how you guys are fishing those frogs. I'm anxious to get out there and try a few different techniques with them. I'm going to kind of play around with a few things, see how it works. I have a feeling we're going to get a fish on them, and I can't wait for that topwater frog bite. So that does it. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Stay tuned. Upcoming on water videos, new bodies of water. We'll see you guys next time. Hopefully it's on the water. Stay tuned. Beasley Bassin.